Málaga Radio.
Freshly squeezed.
The juice on all the daily events along the coast.
With just a little bit of zest.
If you have just arrived in Málaga or anywhere along the Costa del Sol, and you are wondering what is actually happening between Monday the 24th and Sunday the 30th of August, start here.
This is the short version. We will give you the shape of the week, show you a few of the things worth knowing about, and then you can choose which of our 5 focused guides fits your holiday.
And one of the reasons we created this weekly diary is very simple. So many visitors come here and never really find out what is happening beyond the obvious places. And actually, plenty of people who live here miss things too.
Because the information is spread everywhere. Different towns, different venues, different organizers. So our job is not to fill every hour of your holiday. It is to make the region a little more visible.
Exactly. What is happening, where it is happening, and whether any of it sounds like you.
And this week has a slightly different shape. Málaga Feria has finished.
But do not mistake that for the Costa del Sol suddenly going quiet. It has not.
The attention has simply spread out again. Málaga City still has major nights, but now Frigiliana matters. Ronda matters. Benadalid, Vélez Málaga, Torremolinos, Fuengirola, Marbella, Estepona, Nerja, Antequera.
In other words, this is a very good week to look beyond whichever town your hotel happens to be in, and Monday gives us one of the clearest examples. At La Rosaleda, Málaga CF are at home to RC Deportivo de La Coruña. Kickoff is at 9:30, and this is not quite an ordinary opening home match.
Málaga fought their way back to La Liga at the end of last season, and the support around those playoffs spread well beyond the city.
Even down the coast, places such as Fuengirola were dressing roundabouts in blue and white. And this summer, manager Juan Francisco Funes was invited to switch on the lights for Málaga Feria. That tells you something about what the return meant locally.
So if you are at La Rosaleda on Monday, you are walking into the first home chapter after all of that. And if sport is your thing, our Sports and Outdoors This Week guide takes that much further. But perhaps you are not looking for a stadium. Perhaps you want a village.
Then keep Thursday through Sunday in mind, because Frigiliana's Festival de las Tres Culturas runs from the 27th to the 30th. The historic village becomes the setting for a celebration built around its Christian, Muslim, and Jewish cultural inheritance.
And that is one of the nice contrasts this week. At one end, you have major concerts and football. At the other, you can be in a white village in the Axarquia following a completely different rhythm.
Or go smaller still. In Benadalid, the village fair runs through the weekend, with its main Moros y Cristianos performance at the castle on Saturday evening. That is the kind of thing you may never know is happening unless somebody tells you.
Which is exactly what our Festivals and Traditions This Week episode is for.
And Culture This Week is not simply a list of museums. In Málaga, Joana Vasconcelos has filled parts of the Museo Picasso with enormous textile work in Transfiguración.
While in Nerja, Formas en Diálogo by María Belén Morales gives you something completely different. Abstract sculpture with accessibility built into the exhibition, including selected works that can be explored through touch.
And Wednesday night in Vélez Málaga gives us one of my favorite combinations of the week. Art inside the CIC Francisco Hernandez, then the final Jazz and El Cac evening outside in the courtyard.
If that sounds more like your sort of day, the full culture and exhibitions This Week guide is where we slow down and explain those properly. Food has the same split between events and things that are simply part of life here.
Exactly. You do not need a festival ticket to have a good food day. Go into Mercado Central de Atarazanas in Málaga in the morning, and you are in a working food market. Fish, fruit, vegetables, market bars, people actually shopping.
Then Thursday and Friday in Torremolinos, there is the very different Little Italy Gastro Fest, turning the Plaza de Toros into an Italian-style summer food setting.
And if you want one of those Málaga places locals enjoy explaining to visitors, we saved El Tintero in El Palo for our food episode, because there the menu can arrive shouting.
Waiters circulate with seafood dishes, calling out what they have. If you want a plate, you signal.
Once you understand the system, it all makes sense. Before that, it can feel as though everybody else has been given instructions you somehow missed.
That whole story, plus wine country, breweries, Frigiliana's food site and more, is in Food and Hospitality This Week.
Then we get to the nights, and this is where the week becomes extremely indecisive.
Marbella has Starlite Occident with Gloria Trevi on Monday, Nile Rodgers and Chiqui on Wednesday, and Love of Lesbian on Saturday.
Fuengirola has 3 days of sun and thunder beside Sohail Castle, metal, sea, air, and castle walls. festivals.
And Torremolinos has 3 days of Canela Party with its Saturday costume finale.
Which means if you see someone on the train dressed as something you cannot immediately explain on Saturday, there may be a festival-based reason.
There may.
And if there isn't, I do not think anybody in Torremolinos is going to be particularly troubled by it.
Our music and nightlife this week guide sorts those different nights by atmosphere rather than just reading you a list of performers. It also gets into smaller live venues, flamenco, and the beach club side of summer.
And this is something I think visitors sometimes miss. Not everything worth doing this week has a date printed on a poster.
Exactly. Some things are events, others are experiences that are simply available if you arrange them.
A winery in the Axarquia, kayaking from Maro, Caminito del Rey, a guided via ferrata beneath Ronda, a swim at La Malagueta, a walk up one of Malaga's hills.
Those are not all events this week. They are possibilities, and our focused guides make that distinction for you.
Actually, that may be my favorite thing about this particular week. It keeps changing scale.
What do you mean?
Well, you can stand in a major stadium with thousands of Malaga supporters. Then another evening, you can be in a mountain village watching a community perform its own tradition. You can see monumental art in Malaga. Then go to Nerja and discover an exhibition where touch becomes part of experiencing sculpture. You can eat in a food festival. Or you can sit at El Tintero and realize the waiter shouting calamares is not disturbing your dinner. He is offering it to you.
And the geography does the same thing. Look at the Costa del Sol on a map and you see a long coastline. Turn inland, sometimes only a short distance, and suddenly you have vineyards, gorges, mountain villages, and climbing routes.
That is really what we want the diary to do. Make you notice a little more of what is around you.
But there is one important rule.
There is?
You do not have to do all of it.
Oh, definitely not. Before this starts sounding like homework, it isn't. A beach day is a perfectly good holiday. So is a long lunch. So is the pool. So is deciding at 4 o'clock that you are doing absolutely nothing until dinner.
We are not trying to fill your diary. We just want you to know what is available.
Then you take whatever fits.
So if something in this overview has caught your attention, go to the focused guide. For villages, fairs, and local traditions, choose festivals and traditions this week.
For museums, galleries, and cultural discoveries, culture and exhibitions this week.
For markets, food experiences, wine, and places such as El Tintero, food and hospitality this week.
For concerts, festivals, flamenco, live music and nightlife this week.
And for Málaga CF, the San Anton Night Trail, and ways to get outdoors yourself, sports and outdoors this week.
Listen to all of them at malagaradio.com. And when you want the current places and practical details behind what we have mentioned, use malagaradio.net.
And because things do change during the week,
join us each morning on Freshly Squeezed for the things we find after this diary has been published. So wherever you are staying this week, now at least you know a little more about what is happening around you. Take what fits, leave the rest, and enjoy your week. Hasta luego.
A bientôt.
Málaga Radio. Málaga Radio.